another LNP Lancaster Online Sports Roundtable. Reporter John Walk here with colleagues Mike Gross and Jeff Reinhart. On the horn with us this week is Lancaster Barnstormers manager Ross Peeples. If you're a Barnstormers fan, you likely know who that is, but just in case you're not, Ross was a professional of 14 seasons, the last 10 of those with the Lancaster Barnstormers, including the inaugural 2005 team. He's the Atlantic League leader in pitching appearances and Lancaster's all-time leader in innings pitched. 2020 would be his fourth season as the Barnstormers manager. Hopefully that comes to fruition, which is kind of in part why we had Ross on here today, just to kind of pick his brain, how he's managing things amidst the lockdown, what his hopes are for the future, possibly a 2020 baseball season. With that, I'll throw out the mic for the first question.
Hi, Ross. Thanks for hanging with us, man.
Hey, thanks for having me. Absolutely.
Let's talk a little bit about what you know about the possibility of having an Atlantic League season. What are you hearing from the Atlantic League, from the Barnstormers management? What's the word?
Well, I hear that we're going to try to play. Obviously, you know, it goes off the safety of everybody, but you know, the latest I've heard was that we're going to still try to play. You know, we won't get a full season in. They're looking at around 80, 90 game season. So I don't think we're going to have really a direction until MLB decides and comes out with what they're going to finalize and do. I think once MLB comes out and finalize what they're going to do, I think we'll have a little bit more of a direction with what we're going to do.
If you the model for Major League Baseball as far as revenue is much different than the Atlantic League, most notably because Major League Baseball's their major source of revenue is local broadcast, which you guys don't have. So you're obviously much more reliant on having people having fannies and seats. So can you imagine playing without people in the stands? And is that, I would think it's less of an option for you guys than for anybody else in pro baseball.
Well, yeah, you're right. You know, the big leagues and all, they make their money, you know, with the TV rights and all. Obviously, we don't have that. You know, one of the ways how we make money is obviously fans in the stands. So to be honest with you, with me right now, I'll play with nobody in the stands. But, you know, obviously, you know, you got to get the save from several different angles and everything. But, you know, it's one of them things where, you know, we can't control right now, but, you know, we do what we're told, and, you know, hopefully everything shapes up and we can at least have something, you know, going on. You know, me personally, I think our country and citizens, we need something. We need baseball. We need sports, and, you know, hopefully it'll come sooner than later.
Ross, if you guys get the call, let's say, I don't know, soon, and they say you can do a spring training on June 15th, how long would it take you and your folks to get your team together? Because you got guys probably coming from other countries and visa. There's always visa problems somewhere.
Right.
How long would it take to assemble your team when you get the green light? How long is that going to take?
Well, I tell you this, I was told even from the get-go, and I'm sure it's staying now, that when we do get the say to go, that we're going to have a very short spring training. And the word I got was short, which pretty much a few days. So, you know, a lot of it probably going to would be a couple practices, and we're going into the game. You know, obviously that helps, you know, save money as well. So, you know, it's important that those guys are doing what they're supposed to be doing and trying to stay in shape the best they can. You know, you brought up another situation, which is, you know, the jury's still out on how that's going to work, was our visa guys. Our visa guys actually have all been approved. Now, even before all this hit, they was approved, which is funny because usually they're late approving, and now that we don't have a season, they get approved on time. But, you know, even with that happening, you know, are they going to be able to get here? You know, so, you know, that's one thing that we have to keep an eye on. So they'll probably give us a couple days to report, and then, we have a few days of spring training, practices and all, and we're going right into the season pretty much.
Was your roster set when all this hit, or were you guys still tweaking? And how will this kind of affect, do you think, when you do get the call? Are you going to have to fill some spots because maybe some guys,
Right.
just aren't going to play, or maybe they're going to sign somewhere else? Where are you at with that? Just the roster?
Well, when it all happened, I was about right at 16, I think, somewhere in there. 15, 16, 17-ish. And then this kind of hit, and I'll be honest with you, everything kind of died. At that time, I was getting a lot of emails, a lot of calls, players, agents, so forth and so on. Then it kind of died, not much of nothing, not much of no emails, not much of calls or nothing. So I kind of been on a holding point to wait and see. I've been trying to do my homework, talking to some guys I know and affiliated that I used to play with or whatever. And they pretty much said that, when I was talking to them, that there might not be a minor league season, and that they're going to probably be releasing some guys here pretty soon. And actually, speaking of the devil, I've actually had more calls a day than I probably had in the last month, because they just came out with some releases. They just released a few guys yesterday and today. So I've already had 4 calls a day, 2 from agents, 2 from players. So
you have a bigger pool to get some guys from when you get the thumbs up.
I was actually thinking about that. That might be the way this goes a little bit for you, right? I mean, even in the next couple of years, given the way the minor leagues are being reshuffled, you might have an opportunity to get some players, right?
Well, yeah, I even, even from talking with guys the last couple, months, with them probably not going to have those minor league teams next year.
That's what I mean. Yeah.
You would think this league's going to get better and better because it limits the jobs there, and there was even some talk, this year over the last couple of months that this has been going on, that if the minor leagues don't play, would some of them guys be eligible to come here to play? Because, they're talking about having a taxi squad, and, realistically, if something happens in the big leagues, you want to pull up a guy that's been playing, with what their taxi squad's going to be. They're just going to be practicing. They're not going to be able to play games. So, they're not going to be in game ready shape. So how do you go about that? They more want game ready people. So, it's kind of been brainstormed about if some of those guys they would want them guys to come here. Pretty much it would be an example of a guy starts off in Atlantic League, gets taken to affiliated, and then at the end of the affiliated season, they come back for the playoffs or a playoff run, and then they end up just signing back with the affiliated team after our season would be over with. Be kind of something similar to that. But, I don't know if the affiliated teams will want to do that or not. That could be a possibility. I don't know. Like I said, I've been in that holding phase, and, so I would have to fill my roster probably another 8 or 10.
Wow,
from here on out.
Basically have to be ready for anything. I mean, you're waiting for a call, you're waiting for, rosters and who's available. Are these things that you guys are talking about daily basis? GM guys who are, can have the position to add guys, and is that true? Do you have to be ready for anything, and are you going to be ready for anything?
I think you're exactly right. I think you got to be ready for anything, because I guess you could say there's so much unknown right now. What do you do? How do you go upon? I played that holding phase because I needed to upgrade some areas. That's what I'm trying to do with this holding phase. And so my next 8 or so guys are probably going to come from guys that got released. And then it comes to a point where, let's say we don't play. Is it good to go ahead and sign these guys so you can have their rights for next year? Or is it what with the league, say everybody's a free agent and it's free games? How does that work? There's so many things that don't have the crossing the T's and dotting the I's yet that, is unknown. So, I'm probably going to go upon filling filling my roster, and with what I know now is we're gonna try to play whenever we get a chance. So that's how I'm trying to approach it.
Go ahead, Mike.
Yeah, Ross, tell us about working with Travis. I mean, because that gets you to do a little bit of baseball stuff, right? I mean, tell me about what you've been doing with him.
Yeah, we have been. Last couple of years, me and Travis are pretty good friends. Last couple of years, Travis has been coming in and hitting at the field in the off season, and also, he came back. Obviously when they got shipped home, told to go home for spring training, he came back and probably didn't do nothing for about a month, and then we started back. We probably hit about 3 times a week right now, hitting a little bit, trying to get some work in, staying in shape a little bit.
What is his status, Ross? I don't even know. Is he on a big league roster right now?
He's with the Reds.
But he's on their roster.
Yeah. Yep. He got picked up or traded the day after the World Series. Got traded right to the Reds, and
that's right.
He's excited about it. He was having a good camp, and all of a sudden this stuff hit. So, I know he's interested and itching to get back.
I know you want baseball, but how much of a hit would it be for you if there's no college football?
Ooh, you telling me? Hey, that's going to put the damper into both of them. If I don't get baseball or football, Lord have mercy. I need something. I need something live.
Yeah.
I'm tired of watching the reruns.
I hear you.
And the throwbacks.
Ross, I'm friends with a couple of season ticket holders, and I think just everybody everywhere is just getting antsy. But for the folks in Lancaster who have supported you guys and seen you win a couple titles, what's your message to fans? I know they don't see your face out there right now a whole lot because everybody's quarantined, but
right.
What's your message to fans? What do you want the fans to know here about your team, your league, and what's next?
Well, pretty much that, we're going to try to put the best team out there when we can, like a team that's going to go out there. It's going to have a little speed. It's going to be fun to watch. Hopefully pitch a little bit, play some defense, but the biggest thing is just go out there and compete every day. And try to win a championship. That's 2 goals I tell them guys in spring training. Just get you out of here and win a championship. That's one good thing about this league is you play to win every day. You don't have to deal with the politics stuff or who got more money, stuff like that. You play to win every day, and that's one good thing about this league. And I think it's gotten better and better every year, the last several years, just because free agency is being so tough. But hopefully we'll make them proud, and hopefully we can get some baseball soon so they can see for themselves. We've had a couple Zoom calls with the team that we have signed now, just to kind of touch base, a few emails out, touch base, so they can see each other's face a little bit, kind of put a name to a face a little bit, and just pretty much just telling them to make sure they, pretty much was honest with them and tell them, hey, we're trying to play. That's the word. That make sure you're ready, because we've been told it's going to be a short spring training, so it's going to be important for you to be ready. As soon as we get to go, some of the first action we might see might be in the game. So
so Ross, with that, are you how do you approach that? Okay, tell them to be ready, but what does that look like in a sense for a pitcher or a position player, just in terms of being ready? How do you do that as far as preparation, especially as a pitcher? I mean, to go from an off season to boom and be starting, how are they approaching that just in terms of their workouts?
I guess pretty much making sure you're getting your work in, making sure you're in shape. No matter how many bullpens you throw or how many times you hit in the cage, nothing's going to resemble that game-like atmosphere, that game-like in shapeness, if you want to say. I mean, you can throw as many bullpens as you want, but none of them's going to be like that game adrenaline that you're going to have. You can throw 100 pitch bullpen And then you can throw 30 pitches in one game, and you're gonna be more sore from throwing them 30 pitches in one game than you are that 100-pitch bullpen, just because you're adrenaline and all that. But you're just trying to don't shut the mind down. Make sure you're mentally there, you're mentally prepared, and you're as physically as ready as you can be.
Last one from me, and this is the most important question, Ross. Are you going to watch the 64 hours of Derek Jeter coverage on MLB Network this weekend?
To be honest with you, I didn't even know it was on, but I doubt I will be.
64 hours of Derek Jeter coverage on MLB.
I doubt I will. I actually haven't been watching much TV.
Neither have I.
I haven't been watching much TV. One thing I did get into was I got into the Jordan documentary. So
yeah, that was very interesting. That was really good. I thought
I did watch that. I enjoyed that. But to be honest with you, I haven't watched much of TV anyway.
Have you watched the Korean League at all, or do you?
I have. I actually been getting up a lot earlier over this pandemic. Doing my reading and my devotion and stuff, and I'll flip it on every now and then to catch some of it. It seems like a little bit slower pace game, but I've enjoyed it. I've enjoyed watching it. I mean, it's live, so I've enjoyed it.
You'll take it.
That's right.
All right. I think we're good, guys. What do you think?
Yeah, we covered our bases.
Great.
Unintended.
Good stuff. Hang in there, Ross. We appreciate your time, and I know the Lancaster folks are anxious to see you guys get back on the field. So hang tough.
Yep, we will. We're trying to stay positive and stay strong and stay safe. And so hopefully we'll see some baseball soon.
All right.
Thanks, Ross.
Thanks for having me.
You got it. Thank
Enjoyed
you.
it. Thank you.